Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 18th through the 24th. And during that time, we will have a first quarter moon that comes in on the 20th. And that could be a time of self reflection, releasing what no longer is serving us, just kind of preparing for new beginnings, just kind of taking responsibility for things that we've done and making those evaluations. What are we going to change for the next cycle? Then we do move into the waning crescent, and that's a good time for just surrender, rest, and healing as we do get ready for that new cycle. So just kind of evaluate and then let go. Let me grab a drink real quick. Feel a little tickle coming on there. So, all right. Virgo, since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it's super, super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment while I'm shuffling to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I do appreciate you. All right, Virgo, this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: confidence is your key to success. All right, let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on for the week. And as I'm shuffling, my weekly reminder this week, Virgo, is that you notice the world around you this week. And of course, not just this week, but every week. But my reminder for you to notice in the way of synchronicities. And this could be like an animal that you see that you don't normally see. This could be repeating numbers or number patterns that are coming up for you. This could be songs that you overhear or conversation that maybe even a conversation that you're not a part of, but just a word pops out that has something to do with your current situation. But so my reminder is just to watch for the synchronicities and be open to those. Those are the little breadcrumbs that the universe is dropping you on your unique path to kind of help you. So just pay attention to those. All right, Virgo, May 18th through 24th. Confidence is your key to success. Let's see what you guys have going on for the week. Okay, almost there. All right, there we go. Virgo, overall energy. All right, looks like 7 of Pentacles here, that you guys are kind of in like a holding pattern, maybe waiting on a harvest. This could be, of course, in your financial or material realm, but of course, it could be in any realm. Even though it's Pentacles, it doesn't have to mean always that it's about your material world, because a lot of times there's seeds that we've planted that are emotional seeds, or just different things that are going on with your life. But this is about kind of seeds that you've planted in the past, and there's nothing that you can really do now except wait for those seeds to grow and come to fruition. Your current situation is the Page of Swords. So this is, I think maybe as you're waiting here, and maybe a little bit of boredom sets in and you think, oh, new idea, right? With this Page of Swords. So this is kind of you on a new path. We're at the changing of the seasons right now. We're moving from, in the United States anyway, from, we're about to move from spring into summer. So, it's kind of a good time for new path, just kind of a new way of being. As again, if you're waiting on something to kind of come in that you've been working on, and it's like, oh, I've got a new idea. It's a new season, time for new ideas, new ways of being, right? At the root of your situation is the Strength card. So you're coming into this way of thinking, and you're very strong. You're just very mentally strong, and it's a good time to have a new idea, because what else can you do? Like I said, you're waiting on this harvest to come in, and you've got new ideas. Let's just move forward with them. In your recent past, is you might have had a little bit of some kind of mental struggle here with the 8 of Swords. This is kind of your, how do I get out of this situation, right? This is how did I get here, and how can I get out of it? So looks like you might have just gone through something that required your mental strength, to really get through and think through. Um, okay. What's on your mind this week is going to be the 9 of Wands. So I'm just getting the sense that you're kind of in this wrapping up, which I've got a couple of eights here, but I see 7, 8, 9. I just wouldn't be shocked if this is going to be a 10 or some sort of ending. Like you're kind of you're working towards the end of some sort of cycle here. And because I'm looking at all these singular people on every card that's come out. This is really just about you. This is something it's basically internal. These are internal things that you're going through, and like an internal process of change, or kind of coming to realizations about things. I don't see any other people involved with this. So let's see what card comes out here ahead of you. Is, yeah, rest and meditation. That makes a lot of sense too, that you would take some time to really think through these things. What is this thing that you've just been through? It looks like you might have just gone through a rough period. You're kind of in that evaluation mode of thinking through that. And of course, you've had the mental strength and the strength of mind to get through it, but you've got new, fresh ideas coming, and you're definitely taking that time. This is a good week, again, with the moon energy, with that waning crescent. It is a good time for rest and meditation at the end of a cycle to kind of do that evaluation and think things through and think, I want to do things differently next time. So it's a good time to evaluate and make those sorts of changes. In your advice position here, all right, here we go with another 8. So I'm going to say that the previous, what's the reading? I'm not the one I just did. Maybe it was. A couple of readings. One of the readings I just did had a lot of 8s in it too. And here's one with 888. You may want to look that number up. But in your advice position here is to look towards the future and to go ahead and make those moves towards the future. This water in here, this is it's very calm, very balanced. You're in a I just get the feeling that whatever it is, that maybe there was chaos before, but you're in a very calm place right now as you decide to move forward. And again, you've got this new idea. I'm going to say, your advice is definitely do it. You need to move forward with this. This is something that's going to be good for you with whatever this new idea that has just come to you. What is beyond your control this week is the 3 of Pentacles. So, some sort of collaboration. This may be that you share this idea with others. I was telling you about all the singular people and all of your cards, and how, sometimes that's interesting. Just seeing when I'm looking at the direction everybody's facing in your cards, everybody's kind of looking towards the past. But here we are now moving towards the future, and there's other people involved here with this card. So it's beyond your control to maybe even just share this new idea with somebody, collaborate. There may be someone that you want to work together with when it comes to this new idea. So keep that in mind. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Temperance card. So this is that, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, because it's a card of just, inspiration. It's about just really being balanced, just good with that flow. If you look, the flow between the emotional and the material world, and it's just it's just the best balance, right? um to me, this is a card of like just fulfillment, like things coming true, but it's also just being very, very centered. So because the position of this card is that your secret desire is to feel that centered, that thing that comes through out of having inner strength, out of having something come through your past, and now you're just thinking through it, and just you sit in this good balanced place where you just really have a good understanding of it. And it's kind of like you understand the past, and you understand how to not get in that situation in the future. You just have to think your way out of something. So are you trying to avoid that, or is that your secret desire? Only you can really answer that question at this point. In your outcome position this week, and here comes the Magician. So I love this, because here you've got this new idea with this Page of Swords that comes in. You've just kind of been through it in this last month, and you are off on this new path and this new beginning as this other harvesting comes in. And like I said, you may want to collaborate with others, but here's the Magician saying, how do you want to move forward? Do you want to move forward with cups, with pentacles, with the sword? Do you want to have more ideas, or with passion? So you need to answer that question there, because there's the Magician asking you that. How do you, what do you want to focus on? And that's something that you need to think about during this rest and meditative period for you. What is being hidden from you is the Star card. So, this to me, the Star card is kind of this is our card of direction, of guidance, of maybe being on course, which, you know, maybe you don't have a direction. This is hidden from you. So maybe this new idea, maybe it's not completely come into view yet, so that you have a certain direction, but you're kind of just maintaining status quo, maintaining that balance. And again, that direction may come next week. It's hidden from you this week, but because the idea is there and the Magician is there asking you how do you want to move forward with this idea. Again, you may be collaborating, maybe talking to other people about it. So, but that direction, you're not quite there yet, and that may come next week, and that's fine. Things like this don't all happen in 1 week's time. All of our lives are a continuing, flowing, different areas evolve quicker 1 week, and other things are on the back burner, right? But you do need to ask yourself if you're avoiding that balance, or if that is your goal. That's kind of your big question this week. All right, let's get an overall message card here from the Soul Oracle deck to wrap things up. All right, final word. I will say too, confidence is your key to success. So just try to remember that and remain confident through all of this, even though, again, you may not have this, the direction may not be super clear to you, but you're going to head that way. You're going to head that way, and you'll make this decision here about what that direction is for you and how to implement this new sword idea that you're having, this new idea. All right, final message here for Virgo. Have faith. All right, love that. Have faith in whatever that's come in for you is going to work out for you, and make better choices. Well, we can all do that, right? And that could be, again, this evaluation from the past. You got into a situation where you were a little bit stuck there, and you're kind of in like I said, evaluation mode. There's a harvest that's coming in. There's just not much you can do. Seeds are planted, things were done. But you've got this new idea. You've got this new idea to start. I'm not even going to say to run with yet, but to at least steady. It's a nice steady walk towards something. But as your confidence increases, and as make the decision on, will you move forward in an emotional manner? Is that going to be your focus, or is this, like a financial, material thing, or with words, ideas, which with how you express yourself with the swords, or with with the wand, with something that's a choice of passion, and something that just really drives you and gets you up and out of bed in the morning. So Virgo, I wish you the best of luck with this situation. I feel like it was kind of vague this week for you, which does happen sometimes. And just keep in mind that tarot is a template, and this could be different situations and in different parts of different lives, right? So where one Virgo, this may speak to your love life. Another one, it may speak to your career. It's not, especially this week, it is kind of all over the place but it's a tarot is a template, so you can plop it on different parts of your life for different people. So keep that in mind as you listen to this. Again, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for someone else. So Virgo, thanks again so much for being here. I appreciate your time here with me today, and I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use for your week. If you're comfortable sharing with me, just drop me a comment down below. Let me know what it is that you're going through and what made sense for you here with this reading. Also, if you do like my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Virgo. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.